Now we move to the app of the week. And this week it's from Warren and it's the voice recorder app from JLabs.
Hi. For episode 61's app of the week, I'll be reviewing an app called Voice Recorder. To be sure that I have maximum compatibility for this app, I'll be using my older device in the way of the Pixel 2 XL running Android 11 and TalkBack 12.1. For speech services, on the other hand, however, I'll be using another defunct TTS engine, and that would be the Ivona TTS engine from the defunct Bright Voice Technologies. And this is the Kindra voice. It saddens me, however, to say that a lot of the times, developers give generic names to apps that are rather unique and ought to have been given unique names. This app Voice Recorder, in my never-to-be humble opinion, should have been named something like Cassette Recorder or Cassette Voice Recorder. You will understand why I am saying this as I demonstrate this app, but for now, though, there's nothing that sanctifies it by its name. In other words, there's nothing in its name that sets it apart from the crowd. If you go to the Play Store and search for Voice Recorder, even though this app has a 4.8 rating, it is not going to show up in your top search results. I'll now find the icon for Voice Recorder and tap on it.
Voice Recorder. Voice Recorder. Close.
Upon launching the app, we are immediately placed on the Close button found near the top right corner of the device. Below that, we have an edit field that says tap to enter name, meaning you could give the recording a name here. And below that edit field on the left-hand corner is the Save button. At the bottom, we have a total of 4 buttons. Starting from the bottom left, we've got Record, Start, Stop, and Reset. I'll now show you the items that I'm talking about, starting from the edit field that it says to tap to enter the name.
Tap to name. Edit box.
There's our edit field of tap to name. You give your recording a name. And at the bottom left corner of that edit field, we have the Save button.
Save BTN. Button. Text. Save.
Now going down to the bottom, finding those 4 buttons, starting from the bottom left, we have the following.
Rec BTN. Button.
Record to the right of that.
Start BTN. Button.
Start button to the right of that.
Stop BTN. Button.
Stop. And to the rightmost on the edge, we have
Reset BTN. Button.
Reset button. Of course, the Record button would do your recording. The Start button found to the right of the Record button simply sets things in order for the recording. It isn't necessary to tap on that Start button to record. However, upon finishing recording, tapping on that Start plays your recording. Now to the right of that is the Stop button, which does exactly what it says, and the Reset button simply gives you that nostalgic sound of the cassette recorder button opening the cassette holder and closing it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll first tap on the Start button.
Start BTN. Button.
And listen to the sound. And now I'm going to tap on the Reset button on the bottom right corner.
Reset BTN. Button.
There you have it. Now going back to the Close button found near the top right corner.
Close. Voice Recorder. Recordings. Navigate up. Button.
Tapping on that Close button now takes us to a screen where our recordings will be found. To the top corner of the phone, we have Settings at the very top right corner, followed by Sort By, found to the left of that.
Settings.
And going left,
Sort.
Sort. Now below that Settings, we have
Recycle Bin. 0.
Recycle Bin. In other words, when you delete recordings or after finishing recording without giving it a name and you simply close out of the app, it will be placed in your recycle bin. On the top left corner, we have the Navigate up. Tapping on that Navigate up takes us to a screen where we could see the different features found within the app. I would like to mention here in passing that in order to unlock every feature of this app, one would need to shell out $15, $14.99. I'll now tap on that Navigate up to take us to where I'm talking about, where we could see all of the features that are behind the paywall.
Navigate up button. Voice recorder. Navigate up button.
On this screen, we have some buttons near the top right. We have on the far right corner,
Records.
and to the left of that we have.
Share.
Now below, going from left to right, we have Go Premium.
Go Premium.
And below that, on the right, we have
Settings.
Settings, which is more like a heading. Now below that, we have the features that I'm talking about. The first item is a tape deck. These are different types of tape decks that you can choose from different builds and looks and things like that. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Tape deck. Voice recorder. Navigate up button.
Down near the middle,
1 of 9. In list. 9 items. Text. Random save auto. Reverse play stop reset rec.
swiping to the right or moving my finger down.
2 of 9. Text. Save auto. Reverse play reset stop rec.
Keep
3
going.
of 9. Text. Save auto reverse play rec stop.
Next.
4 of 9. Text. Save auto. Reverse reset play rec stop.
What we're seeing here are different models of tape decks that one could choose from. Tapping on any of those, however, you'd be told to make a purchase in order to unlock that. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Tape deck. Out of list. Upgrade to a premium account to unlock all upgrades.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll now go back,
Tape deck.
and I'll go back again to the previous screen.
Voice.
Now below that tape deck, what we have next is the various cassettes that one could choose from. And in this case, we have a total of 42 cassettes. I'll show you some of them.
Tape cassette. Voice recorder. Navigate up button.
Putting my finger down toward the middle.
1 of 42. In list. 42 items. Text. NR no FF a random type A. Normal. Position normal bias 120 sec.
I'll move my finger down or swipe right.
2 of 42. Text. Normal bias 120 type A. Normal. Position stereo mono 60 audio tape made in Japan T7.
Move my finger down or swipe right.
3 of 42. Text. Stereo mono AET7 audio tape mad hi-fi low noise cassette tape.
And just like the tape decks, these, when tapped on, will take you to where you could buy or unlock the premium feature in order to get that. So now I'll go back to the previous screen.
Voice recorder. Settings. Out of list. Tape cassette.
We continue below to see what other features are found.
Recorder settings.
This is the recorder settings heading, and below that we have
Default file type. MP3.
default file type, and tapping here, there's either MP3 or the .wav format. Below that we have
Sampling rate. 44,100 Hz. CD quality.
the sampling rate. You could tap here and go change it to the sampling rate that you prefer, or leave it on the default if that's what you want. Below that we have
Recordings folder. /storage/emulated/0/android/data/me.labs.voice recorder/files/music/voice_recorder/.
This is where your recordings are located. And by the way, you could choose a different folder if that's what you want. I haven't done so, and I hope that it supports the SD card for those of you with phones that support SD cards, so you could choose to save your recordings on an SD card. And by the way, the app is from a group called JLabs. That's letter J space LABS. Let's move to the next item.
Launch in recorder.
And these are features that are launched in the recording which you can turn off or leave checked.
Checkbox checked. Button click sounds.
The click sounds, and that one is checked. In other words, if you want to hear those retro sounds that you hear when one is using a cassette recorder and pressing those buttons, then leave this checkbox checked. Unchecking it would take away those sounds. And by the way, if you have some side, you could actually see the cassette spinning. Absolutely beautiful and a nostalgic experience. Next, we have
Settings.
Settings. We tap here.
Allow voice recorder to access photos, media, and files on your device. Allow button.
And I could tap Allow.
Select a folder. Acapella Voices.
If I want to change mine to a folder called Recordings, I'll scroll down and find the Recordings folder and tap on it.
Recorders 0202. Recordings 1203-1209.
If I tap here on Recordings,
Dot.
and there's either
Cancel button. Out
Cancel
of list.
or
Choose button.
Choose, which means you could choose that folder. I'll tap on Cancel.
Cancel. Voice recorder settings.
Below that, we have
About.
the About, followed by
App version 3.5.1.
and
Feedback. Provide us with feedback to help us improve the app.
below that.
Privacy policy.
And that's the last thing. I'll now go back by simply going back.
Voice recorder recordings.
And I'm back to the screen where the recordings are found. Now, in order to go back to the first screen where we could do the actual recording, I will now need to tap on the settings found near the top right corner.
Settings. Voice recorder close.
Tapping on settings brings me back to the very first screen, and we hear the word close. This is the main UI where all those buttons are located. I'll now find the record button found near the bottom left corner and tap on it.
Rec BTN button.
Hi, this is the demonstration for blind Android users. I will now tap on the stop button, which is the third button to the right.
Stop BTN button.
Without giving it a name or anything of the sort, I will now tap on the second button from the left, and that will be the start button. That will rewind the cassette and starts the playback. Here's what I'm talking about.
Start BTN button.
Hi, this is the demonstration for blind Android users. I will now tap on the stop button, which is the third button to the right.
Stop BTN button.
So that is that recording. If I tap on reset,
Reset BTN but. Pro tip number 2.
that means that recording has been moved to the recordings folder without a name. If I tap on the start button, we're not going to hear any playback.
Start BTN button.
And that is the voice recorder, which I would rather wish that the developers had named it cassette recorder or something to that effect.
Thanks very much, Warren.